Okay, let's talk about tip number 2, which is publish high quality content to get more traffic to your website. So it's all about content. So we've already done the keyword research. We still need to kind of merge the two. But when we talk about merging the two, it's not just building content around those keywords. It's much more than that when it comes to SEO. And so that's why we always talk about high quality content. So let's talk about some of the tips that can help you create high quality content. So first tip is we want to be able to publish longer and engaging content. Longer and engaging content tends to rank higher in Google. Why? Because you have more content to work with. And when you have more content to work with, you can optimize it, you can structure it, you can insert different assets like videos and images. And by keeping it long, you're going to likely keep it engaging. And so Google tends to lean in favor of content that is well organized, structured, and long because it is more likely to be engaging for the end user. We definitely want to include those target keywords. So you want to be able to, insert those keywords into those meta tag descriptions, into those title tags, into those alt tags. But you want to work them in naturally. You don't want to force anything. Content should be naturally written because if it's naturally written, it's going to be engaging. So we want to use LSI keywords in the content. So LSI, or basically latent semantic indexing, basically just means different terms and concepts related to your target keywords. So feel free to use terms that are similar to what you're currently using. These keywords can definitely be used for SEO because they can create more visibility and potentially higher rankings because it gives you an opportunity to use keywords that are natural and work for different variations. And let's look at an example. So if you're optimizing an e-commerce category page and your keyword is one mixed shoes for men. So we want to use keywords closely related to one mixed shoes for men. For example, running shoes for men or sport running shoes for men, outdoor sport shoes or air cushion shoes. Let's take a look at an example of Amazon. So if I go to Amazon, I could see the one mixed shoes for men page. And if I look at this page, I can see a lot of product, and each product has basically some content associated with it, i.e. the title of the particular product. And so you want to be able to use different descriptors for this particular product. For example, men's running shoes, or breathable lightweight gym sport shoes, or lightweight casual sneakers, or walking casual sneaker. All of these are LSI related keywords. They're similar to what we're trying to optimize for. So you don't necessarily always have to be brand heavy or stick with one keyword. You could definitely show variation, especially on the e-commerce side if you're dealing with different product. So we want to make the content readable with the help of visuals, subtitles, and bullet points. So if you're e-commerce, you want to make sure that page is laid out properly, easy to read. Here I could see the descriptor along with the title all kind of merged together. And so there's no breakout of, okay, this is the product name, this description. It's kind of one all in one, which I like. It just makes it more natural sounding. Okay, and you can see these are all broken out. Pretty well laid out page, and Amazon is more or less, consistent in terms of how their pages are laid out. So make it readable, add visuals, add subtitles, add bullet points. It helps break out a lot of the content, especially if you have a long amount of content or a large amount of content. So the use of subtitles, bullet points, and visuals will help break it out, structure it, and make it more engaging for the end user. You definitely want to write an effective and organized content in order to reduce the bounce rate. So there is correlation between engagement and bounce rate. The more you structure, the more you add visuals, the more you add subtitles, the more engaged somebody's going to be, the less likely they are to bounce from the page. We also want to share customer reviews and ratings. So if you have a web page, you sell products, even if you don't sell products, it's always good to have testimonials or some type of customer review. So if we go back to our example on Amazon and we clicked on a product, one of the running shoe products, we look here, we can see the image, we could see kind of the description. Well, I may not be so interested in buying this product. I want to know a little bit more about it. Well, that's where the breaking point comes in. That's where the decision decision factor comes in, where if I read other reviews, then I can possibly have my mind made up to buy this product. So here I could see that not only there are reviews, but there's testimonials. So I could see that here you could see that there's a lot of stars, and you could see the kind of the review title. These running shoes are very comfortable and lightweight. So you have a lot of different feedback. And so reading customer reviews is always helpful, because even though you're making the decision, it kind of will help sway you in one direction or another. At least it does for me. So that's the beauty of a customer review and a rating. We want to be able to use those to our advantage. And then you want to be able to update your content on a regular basis. And that goes for testimonials and reviews. You want to make sure you're always getting reviews. Because if you're always getting reviews, then that's just adding to the particular product. And so if you're always updating your content on a regular basis as well, then Google's going to be able to see that. And Google likes fresh content. Okay, we also want to include the benefits of the product. So if you're selling a product, any product, you always want to include the benefits. You want to do as much as you can to make your product engaging to the end user, enticing, so that they can buy it. So in addition to customer reviews or adding content about the product, you want to include benefits. So if we go back to Amazon here, we could see Amazon lists a lot of the benefits, or OneMix in this case lists a lot of the benefits. So here you could see all the descriptors about the particular product. It's got rubber sole, it's got a breathable textile lining, you get free high quality socks with every shoe. So these are some of the features, and if we continue to scroll down, we could see some of the details about the fabric type, specifics about the fabric, and there's a lot of information on this product page, even a sizing chart. So a lot of different features that will help the end user make the decision. So don't hold back. Add as much information as you possibly can, as much information as you have available. It doesn't hurt, because in the end, what you're trying to do from a product perspective is sell the product. And you can't really sell it unless you have information that's going to convince the user that this product is what they want to buy. So include the warranty, size recommendation, return policy, and some offers. So it should all be listed on the page, easy for the end user to see. So can't stress it enough. Provide as much product information as possible. We go back here. Here it has a sizing chart, what colors are available. Again, some of the descriptors. If I scroll down, here I can see some more of the benefits. Waffle rubber, outsole, soft deodorant insole. Again, fabric type. It's got all sorts of information. It's got images about the fabric itself, the shoe itself, how it's structured. So a lot of information about this, and it even does a comparison. And so there's a lot of information about this particular product. So don't hold back. Add as much as you can to convince the end user. So in the case of the OneMix on Amazon, they had a sizing chart. They had an FAQ. They had additional information. What other products that customers view from OneMix? And then testimonials. So these are some of the basic bits of information you want to add on your page. If you don't have customer reviews, it's okay. Add FAQ in its place. Again, the end result is to convince the customer to purchase the product. And then build a comprehensive internal linking structure of web pages. So every product page should link to similar products. So if I go back here I could see other products from OneMix. So you should always have a linking structure, so that if the end user doesn't want to particularly buy that particular product, then you have links available so they can go to another page. And then add different varieties and related short videos of the product. So if we go back to our product page, they have different varieties that they're showcasing here. They have the size chart. They even have a size convertible chart. So if you're dealing with metrics, you can go over to US metrics, feet, vice versa. You can add a video. Show a video of, if you're selling running shoes, show a video of somebody working out. It doesn't have to be a full-blown commercial per se, but it could be a short 30-second video of what the shoe looks like on somebody else's feet. so that they could see somebody walking with those shoes on. So video doesn't have to be a big production. You can do it right from your phone. So review your content before you publish. This goes without saying. You want to do that. Just you make sure you include everything possible. Because when the content does get published, remember, Google's going to index that content. When they index it, it's going to show up in the search results. So we want to make sure we have all the information readily available, not only for the end user, but for Google as well. We want to be able to analyze our meta tags and URL to improve click-through rates. So this is important because the meta tags, i.e. the title tag and the meta description, and the URL is what shows up in Google search results. So if we have title tags, that's the first important element. That's what shows up in the search results. So what we want to do is we want to optimize the title tag. And when we optimize it, we want to use modifiers. And when I say modifiers, I mean, feel free to use the word best or cashback or free shipping or discount. So for example, if you're selling running shoes, 25 best sneakers or up to 70% off or free shipping or buy shoes on discount, very action oriented. But, it includes these modifiers that are going to help somebody click on that link. So some tips for optimizing the title tag. In addition to the modifiers, we want to watch the title length and we want to include those target keywords in the title tag. So remember, you're likely going to have 2 keywords to work with. You want to have at least one of those keywords in your title tag. So with the modifier, up to 60 to 65 characters in length with that targeted keyword should get you a good title tag that's going to get somebody to click on it. So let's look at an example. So if I type in the keyword best recipes for dried figs, here I could scroll down. Here's my title tag. It stands out. My URL is right underneath that, and underneath the URL is the meta description. And so here I can see some modifiers. 188 best autumn dried fig recipes, or 25 fantastic fig recipes, or 10 best cooking dried fig recipes. So these are all modifiers that are going to help somebody get the click. Get them to click on your link and go to your website. So when you don't hit the 65 character limit, if you go over that, Google's going to cut off the title tag. So we want to avoid that at all possible. So the whole idea is, like 10 best cooking dried fig recipes by Yumly. That's a good enticing title tag. Okay, takes into account a modifier, includes the targeted keyword, and is under the 65 character count. Some additional tips for writing meta description. We always want to provide a unique description for each web page of the website. So no duplicate meta tag descriptions. Every page needs to be unique. Then we also want to be specific about what we're offering. So if you have, say, you're selling headphones and you have a particular set of headphones from a different specific brand, include that in the meta description. If you have that particular product from that brand on sale, include that in the meta description. So you want to be as specific as possible. The whole idea behind a meta description is to describe the page, but also to get the end user to click on your link. So here's an example of using modifiers and describing a page. If we look at Amazon again, we can see this example here. And if we look at it on Google search results, so if I type in Amazon Bluetooth headsets, $10 are on sale. Here we can see a lot of Amazon listings in Google search. Here you can see the use of modifiers in the title tag and also in the meta description. Here we could see that, this particular Bluetooth headset is on sale, 50% off. So if something's on sale, feel free to include it. Be descriptive about the page, let people know where they're going, and use those modifiers. Don't be afraid to use numbers in the meta description. Even if it's the price itself, even if it's not on sale, but it is the price, include it. It's not going to hurt. The more information you can include in a meta description, the better chance you have of somebody clicking on that link. Use numbers, symbols. Percentages off always help. Use catchy words like discount or cashback. You're competing with other listings on the page. So if you have something on sale, if it's on clearance, list that it's on clearance. Here I can see they even included the coupon code. So Feel free to list as much specific information about that page as possible. The whole idea is you're competing with your own web pages, but in other cases with competitors. So the meta description along with the title tag and the URL helps separate out you from the rest of the listings on search engine results. And we don't want to keyword stuff. We want to keep it within 160 something characters or 65 characters, because Google will break off the meta description just like they do with the title tag. And so we want clean, natural, written meta descriptions that separate you from the competition. So that means including the keywords, but making sure those keywords are naturally included in the meta description. So if I go back again to valleyfig.com and I could see the meta description. Hey, welcome to the best resource online for dried fig recipes. Savory, sweet, snacks are healthy, dried fig recipes. We've got it all. Okay, start cooking with figs. And so it's natural sounding. It does include the keyword. It's not keyword stuffing. It's natural sounding. That's hopefully going to get that person to click on this particular website. Let's turn our attention to the URL. So we want to make sure that the URL is basically taking into account best practices. So if we take a look at this particular URL here, it doesn't necessarily look as attractive as we would like. So first of all, I don't understand some of it. So that makes it unpleasant, boring, and messy, to say the least. So you want URLs that, basically are clean and understandable. So in other words, we want to make them SEO friendly, because if they're SEO friendly, somebody understands the URL, then they're likely going to click on it. So the old rule of thumb is if you can read the URL, then the search engines can read the URL. So here are some tips for creating friendly URLs for SEO. Make it readable. You want to include the target keyword in the URL. So if it's dried figs, the URL should include dried figs. If it's dried fig recipes, make sure it's dried fig recipes. Now avoid using too many subdirectories in the URLs. So we want to keep it as close as possible to the root directory and match the URLs to titles most of the time. So let's go back to our example here. Here we can see this is valleyfig.com/recipes, not necessarily dried fig recipes, but recipes nonetheless. It's in the root directory. Okay, so at all costs, now this is in some cases unavoidable, given that you may be dealing with an e-commerce website that's calling, content from a database. So if that is the case, you're going to have some dynamic parameters in the URL, which is fine. Just make sure you avoid having too many of those dynamic parameters. It's understandable to have parameters, but the rule of thumb generally is no more than 2 different parameters in the URL. So prefer to create short URLs. That's really the way to go. The shorter, the better is the rule of thumb. And, if you're going to break up the URL, then use hyphens instead of underscores. It's just cleaner. It's a more understandable. Search engines tend to read it a little bit easier if it's hyphen. So here's what a friendly URL looks like for search. You got your domain, you got a subcategory broken up with a hyphen, and then the product. So that's just a clean URL for a particular e-commerce site that has categories and subcategories. So again, we got Amazon.com. Your category can be electronics, your subcategory could be earphones, and your product could be Bode earphones.